This retard is playing really tough now. We picked Umbreon here, right? And Urshifu. We haven't seen Urshifu today yet. Umbreon, Urshifu, and Teleon Gyarados Super. Against Eldegoss, Zacian, and Venusaur.
I feel like we talked about this a little bit before the broadcast.
We have a Penitence Venusaur and Klaus on Darkrai and a Crosser. Grim Reapers bringing out new Pokemon.
This might make sense pairing it up with that Eldegoss because late game,
interesting.
You have that damage reduction.
Tell me how
Let's
cool
go.
This is.
Also here again, winner qualifies for the World Championship.
Game. Winner of this match
winner qualifies.
Goes to Worlds. Of course,
you know anything with the bits? Appreciate.
That's going to be Gen 5 in purple.
The winner qualifies.
Grim Reapers on the orange side, and
for Europe
I love
as the second team.
All of this out of the gates.
Of course, I could still end up as the third team, but
big invasions at least so
I don't know. Is there a difference between getting second and third place in Europe? Is there a difference?
Same old, same old. I
mean, I guess in seed, right, for like group stages, and money, of course, and prize money.
Potential invades that are going to come out from Hooper, but they didn't actually go and risk
it's money.
But actually,
everyone likes money, right?
has that red buff, so just to help him along with that
slow,
as they go and pressure this
Wait, does second place also get travel money?
Yeah, I mean, Gossifleur, Eldegoss with red buff is so scary. It's really
okay, well then,
yeah,
that's huge then.
You're like,
okay, second also gets travel money. Okay, that's huge, yeah.
Probably not that scary, but you're a little bit
getting second is very important.
Than Zacian sometimes, especially.
You know, you think with the resub, Shakespeare think with the gifted sub.
On the other side, having to get that Magikarp up and on board, and it does look like we're going to see some focus from Grim Reapers to try.
Was that the Dark Urshifu? Yeah.
Pretty well. Stop the Gyarados from popping off early,
Landaru
which is really important. Its early game is so strong once it evolves.
We haven't seen a cross in suddenly except a crosser.
Bottom path into top like we usually see.
Why are they going so aggressive?
To that 2v2 down here, 3v3 up in that top path. But we do have Utah.
Also, highest type train? I have no idea.
It's just a matter of getting Lunda on board, but this Rock Tomb to go and cut them off, whether they can take out this Drizzle, no, they do not. They're able to Felstinger out.
And that's a pretty scary bottom path, by the way, as well for Gen 5. Kind of balancing out there a little bit of weaker top path, which is just natural when you do have that Magikarp. Still not evolved, and it's getting pretty close to
100? Yeah, 100.
8-minute mark, a little bit slower than you normally would want. Still not bad. Still going to be, I would say, maybe a little bit about the average. I know the dancing.
Oh, that is so sweet, seeing the little support
100 is insane.
with each other, waiting for chaos to just ensue as these birds do end up spawning. Otherwise, Umbreon ends up getting taken down by that Sacred Sword. Megu trying to get out with their Waterfall, but that Rock Tomb does end up cutting them
128? I mean, they only played the qualifier, nothing else.
Shift over to Waterfall. Waterfall is a super fun move. I'm a big fan.
So, I don't know. I mean, they don't have any, they don't even have any points, I think.
Like that, and
they have no CP points.
Push up, try to take down this tier 1 gold zone, but back to, it's been, I mean, I don't want to say it's been a while, but there was certainly that point in time where we were seeing all Trick Hoopa, and now seeing the portal again means that the rotates back up to defend. Any of these gold zones are going to be so incredibly fast, and so no mileage able to be taken from Grim Reapers. They're still going to be fighting over this
and Utah's down?
Center. Umbreon will be going down, and that'll be the best.
Really, it does feel like such a waste to have Utah on like 10 duty, right?
10 mark, and there is no points on the
does feel like a waste.
In terms of level, it is
but
pretty
it is, that's how it goes sometimes.
Both at that level 8 mark, but we have these objectives spawning. It's going to be a Reg Ice down in that bottom half.
XP.
We're already getting down to about half.
No, to Petal Dance. Reg Ice is low, and Crusty gets it.
Yeah, Petal Dance, sorry.
Snipe shot and Wicked Blow, and we don't get the objective.
Passive damage, so it's a little bit awkward. We don't have the greatest secure available in that moment to be able to try and stop that flip. So definitely a chaotic little fight, and nobody chose to try and
don't have the greatest secure. We have Wicked Blow and Snipe shot. What happened to them?
Completely 0-0 score at the 6-minute 30-second mark. Very, very strange to see, but we've got some.
Wait, is my hype train going out? Oh, it's over, guys.
Those rotations to be quicker. The AoE
no level 111.
Zacian and the Venusaur. It's just going to be tough.
Unlucky. 07. Goodbye.
No steal available from Gen 5.
Oh, Snow Stab. Oh, yes, yeah. Pull here away from Urshifu.
A chunk of damage from that Inteleon sniping on out. Class is also at half HP, but they're not going to back on down. They're going to Petal Dance on through, hoping to guide this Regieleki through, and it does end up going in. So finally, we have some points on the board.
Yeah, and so many points in the pockets of everybody on the map. We are going to see CrisHeroes get taken down, but just trying to space it out so that everybody can successfully get their points in. Not that it's going to be that difficult.
He's on the back line using a knife pretty early on, though. It doesn't really do anything there.
Venusaur is going to go all the way back, but it looks like Galaxy on the Zacian is going to run all the way around into the center area of Gen 5, and they're going to be using agility quite well to be able to get out of that situation safely. They managed to get a few members.
What is that emo? I got something better, I think.
Distraction so that we didn't see Grim Reapers lose any.
What did I get? I got...
I guess that's the downside of having hyperspace
Bit the truth.
Hooper instead of a Trick Hooper. You don't end up getting that speed boost when you actually need it. But 14 points to 104, almost at that halfway mark. We already have 3 Unites available for this next fight on the side of Grim Reapers. Gen 5, they have no yellow dots above their heads.
Yeah, that's going to be tough. They had to use a lot in this previous fight. This might be a time where you just have to give up a basement Reggie. They do have some sneaky little attempts to steal over there, especially with the the Inteleon being that perfect range. And it's getting pretty well body blocked.
I can't think about this unless Hooper gets it.
We popped the Unite from the Hooper. It wasn't enough to get the steal. A great hyperspace Fury, but still the aggression
Didn't get it.
will at least be shut down by that Hooper portal. It was going to allow everybody to get back down. And so we're just seeing kind of a lot of the same thing here. There's these small wins back and forth for every team, but nobody's been able to push down all that much. The only exception being that Regieleki push up top, which was only getting a tier 1 gold zone. So this is looking like a pretty low-scoring game, unless something huge happens, as we're only 2 minutes away from Rayquaza.
You know what they say, Chef? Slow and steady wins the race. But when you're both slow
no, it
and
doesn't.
steady, I mean, are they actually going to make it to the finishing line here? Well, I don't know. We do have a Regieleki, and because of that tier 1 pad, not there. That is going to march towards tier 2. But if there's one greater shred on the side of Gen 5, it's going to be that Gyarados to deal with it.
67-12.
Gyarados will be able to teleport back down as soon as that is
I mean, don't promise they have no good secure on Grim Reapers for like later in case something happens on Ray.
Venusaur is pretty big.
Oh man, they're kind of getting farmed though. I'm doing a stat so CrisHeroes can unite. Nice X's or? Bro, Gen 5 is getting farmed.
Taking down 2 more members of Gen 5, and finally we are going to see score really get
Gen 5 is getting farmed.
230. That's a huge lead now over Gen 5, just about in time as well. You're not going to have too many huge fights after this. Both goal zones are up, tier 1 goal zones. That's huge for Grim Reapers in the end as well. So they're definitely holding an advantageous position going into what could be the final stretch.
Oh, 100%. This is going to just stop the movement from Gen 5, not having those tier 1 pads available for that Hooper to teleport their members around.
Right here.
One thing, though, they have their Unite
the jungle same level as
final stretch, but for the moment, it's just holding on tight because we do
I'm not sure
have
about the Shifu pick at all.
Reggie about to spawn on in.
Ooh, and there is actually a lot of priority being
like,
put on
I don't know, maybe Hippo Shifu Islands. I have no idea.
Looking too
I guess I just pick something safe,
they are
but
very, very close, but they are going to see so many members. They can get KO'd here. It's not the worst thing in the world.
Is pretty low.
Guitar is going to be very, very low.
But it's not like Grim Reaper's comp looks crazy either. Grim Reaper's comp's all over the place, but... Oh, nice X's again, but Reggie goes over to left side, but they're dying again.
A little bit early, but the snipe shot is a great second chance for that secure, and that's something we're going to have to look at as well going to the final stretch. 2 amazing secure options on the side of Gen 5, so if it comes down to a flip, which so far we've seen flips happen because there's just a lot of accidental damage from the pedal dance and just a lot of accidental damage in general. I mean, Zacian as well. CrisHeroes can do a little bit of accidental damage, so we've got to really be careful. If that flip happens, Gen 5 is going to have a huge advantage of getting back into this.
Well, 2 minutes is here. Final stretch. Rayquaza
Ray is up. Well, and the HP bar is so nice. It's such a nice feature.
In the tall grass there.
I like it.
Gen 5, they're just poking out with that Inteleon, but ooh, Utah going in for a back cap there just to bring it. I mean, it's not really that much closer, but still, it is some points on the board nonetheless.
They're going to win team fight.
I love this Rayquaza health bar. It's so cool to see. And this is going to be some really patient play. I mean, definitely the range advantage does go to Gen 5. They do have the ability for Lunder to just kind of snipe over and over, get little bits of damage in, but K-Tar is going to go in first.
You can't engage against Umbreon like this.
They do manage to get it. That's huge. Great.
Oh, he doesn't take the shield. Okay.
For the side of Grim Reapers, they might.
That's the first engage against Umbreon seems riot.
Engage off of that, but instead they're just going to
back up. They lost their patience now. That was so unnecessary.
Not the worst thing in the world. No Unites used from Gen 5.
That was just not patient enough.
Gen 5 as well, being able to back up, but they've got only so much time until they need to fight as Rayquaza is reset.
this is going to be the play here for Grim Reapers. Stick
Another
together,
snipe shot.
close to that pedal
Holy.
dance, along with that pollen puff from Jean-Mi to go and heal him up. But the thing is Lundo just going to do too much damage here, slowly chipping away. But once again,
Darkrai and
Rock Tomb
Hoopa
to go and
unbound.
block out Snow.
Darkrai's
who is
gonna kill
charging
Hoopa
them up.
very
But
fast.
we do have that.
Which is actually not true then, because Hoopa unbound is crazy in fights. Venus
and
Unbound is
now
huge.
3 members of Gen 5 have been wiped
Gen
out.
5's
This is
getting
Grim Reaper's
smoked.
chance to go and take this Rayquaza, unless
I mean, Grim
we
Reapers
have a
look kinda
steal from
clean,
these
not gonna
two
lie.
water-type Pokemon.
Gyarados
this is
Unite
so
is actually
scary.
also
Oh,
perfect
but
last
Zacian
hit.
is able to close it out. That was
They're looking
as scary
clean.
as it gets. We had the Enteion up there. The Gyarados was swimming below the ground with the Unite.
Oh, they're looking
getting
clean. 1-0 for
ready.
Grim
Great
Reapers.
secure, though, from Grim. So,
No
nearly
front
100%
line
on
for
stream,
Gen
3
5?
out of 4. Oh, are we going
What is this
to
com?
see the Zera Aura? No.
Metagross,
Okay, they're
Mewtwo,
just
Y,
recovering
Leafeon,
a little bit.
Decidueye.
We're gonna see. That would be wild to see a
Hoopa.
Cramorant back in, but
Oh?
Cramorant?
Hey! What are the chances?
We have a
haven't seen
Cramorant now for
so
60s?
So long. I think what you said about there being a patch
Okay,
that we were not
man.
told about, probably true.
Well, this will be a funny game,
a lot
I guess.
Of Pokemon that didn't get
What?
changed during this draft.
You're not even wearing your
Interesting.
Cramorant shirt
I
today.
know. Take a look at actually what
Welcome
the
to Europe
items
with
were,
nonsense
because
drafts and
it is
picks, but
actually
at least it's
the new
entertaining, I
item
guess. You know,
on
that's what
Cramorant,
matters.
because
We're
I
watching,
haven't seen
we're
Cramorant
watching
since
for
they released,
entertainment,
but
right?
we'll see
That's
that
what we're
damage
watching it for.
stacking as we're going into game
That's
number
what
2.
esports is,
Grim
entertainment,
Reapers,
right?
a newer
Are we
team,
entertained?
one game away from
Probably,
all
at least a video.
Worlds in Anaheim. They've just got to
That's
win
what
this
matters,
one,
right?
And who else can say they qualified?
I'm not
for Worlds
qualifying
with
for Worlds. I
Cramorant?
don't
That would
care.
certainly be a first. 60s,
I'm not
of
the one
course,
playing. I don't have to
amazing
win.
player for a long time.
Right?
I'm excited to see
So-
even what build they go, because honestly, there's so many different things you could do.
If they draft like this against
Considering
Asia,
they
though, I'm gonna be
do
mad.
Have that Decidueye and a Leafeon on their side.
No, then I have an
I'm
issue with
guessing
it.
A dive composition here, just to get that extra maneuverability, get into the backline, but also dodge the moves from Leafeon. But I guess, you know what? We've seen so many surprises here. I could completely be wrong here.
Yeah, I mean, there were so many surprises that we honestly didn't get to talk about some of the picks that were in the draft. Like Leafeon is a speedster that we've been seeing a little bit less.
Well,
but
that'll be very
its
explosive,
extra
I guess.
range is really,
Gen 5's goal is
nice.
just run at the
It's
enemies
really
and hope for the
strong. It
best.
definitely hasn't been weak. There's
Sounds like a
been
good
some really
plan.
strong speedsters alongside it. We didn't get a chance to talk about why the Mewtwo Y was picked exactly, which is another thing that's a little bit interesting, and we're going to have to see eventually. But on the other side,
A good offense is a good
we
defense,
didn't
right?
get well, okay, we talked about most of it. We didn't really get a chance to talk about the Darkrai and how well it did in that last game. Another Pokemon that we see not that often anymore, despite the fact that it was super strong when it first came out, but still very impactful.
Well, as I said, it's their icon there, so they've got a rocket. However, in terms of this Mewtwo Y, we do have an experience share.
Yes.
Lunda, so they are that supported Mewtwo Y, but that's because I'm saying it might be Psy Strike here, because that's the usual comp, but it's just for that extra damage over time, but it's also the big stun that you end up getting at the end, and especially considering Grim Reapers, while they were running that snowball comp together, when you're grouped together, you could actually get a pretty massive stun on multiple members.
That's true, yeah, especially, I mean, if there was that last comp. This comp definitely going to be a little bit more split up, but there's still going to be a lot of grouping.
There's something for Dark right now. Leafeon's going in though. Qatar has focus.
8-minute mark. We are going to kind of split into a top
KO.
fight and a bottom fight.
But
and it
Krem
doesn't
gets 30
seem like
points
we're
in.
getting any real KOs. Everybody just kind of testing the waters. Nobody wanting to fully commit. And that's something that we saw from these teams last
If Grim
game as
Reaper
well,
wins that,
where
there's a high
they
chance going to be
really
Komai
don't
against Gen
wanna
5 for the
overcommit to
final word
anything.
spot.
We didn't see anybody take a lead or even... We didn't see
Maybe,
anyone
unless
score
Komai
until,
keeps
like,
playing the way they
6-minute
play.
mark, which
That could be
already
also
we're beating
insane.
that, but not by much.
No, it is 4 points to 30.
Okay, I mean, so far, I mean, this
quite a
is
little
far
spread
from
here, but
over,
it
of
is still
course. I
early
mean, no.
days. You've just got to fill
But I don't
up
feel
all of
confident
those
Gen 5 right now
your
with
Aeos
this.
energy from this wild Pokemon. The birds have
But I
spawned
assume they know
again.
what they're
It is
doing with
going
these
to
picks,
be a
right?
3v3 up in that top
I hope at
half,
least.
And, ooh,
Oh!
getting taken down.
Get closed.
With the Leafeon, 2 KO
Get
streak for
closed.
Klaus here.
Ooh, that's big. Yeah, CrisHeroes has to get away. Well, I was going to say get away. And
Oh
then
my
immediately
God,
just
they
went
got
back in, allowed
closed.
the 3 KO. And that's huge. With the addition
It's
of the new
Klaus
items,
cleaning the
Traveling,
house.
and such, there's so much more value to a lot of these early KOs. I mean, especially if you're in this group and you're going to get a KO with a bunch of assists. That's just something
get what
that
at least? Spirit
builds
checker?
up so much more than
Got it,
maybe
okay.
if you were watching the game, I guess only several months ago is really all that it is. We're going to see a pretty
At least
clean, easy
something
take
for them.
from Gen 5 on that basement Reggie Ice as we're watching that fight.
I mean, they would have to run into so many things, so they have to run through a Darkrai, run through a Sacred Sword, run through
Oh,
Cotton Spore,
100%. It has got Darkrai
run through
over to that
Umbreon.
level
Like,
9,
it's not
but
going to be easy
one
to run
thing
through the
I
enemy
also
team in
noticed,
this
is a
game.
trick Hooper this time around rather than that hyperspace hole. So just
But I just realized they have 3 of these disgusting shiny sprays.
Up towards them, and they're gonna go
Oh,
on in,
there's the comeback. They just run. Okay. Alright, that worked. Let's run them over.
In this top tier 1 pad.
Oh no, the Unite came out from the Cramorant, but it really wasn't going to get anything. They did manage to get out of there, but unfortunately it was a bit of a waste, and that goal zone will go down. So this time Gen 5 taking the
4-0. 4-4-0.
Trick Hoopa,
What, 3-4-0?
I really like that call. There's some great auto attackers, and Trick is so good with auto attackers. But
oh my god, these shiny sprays. Why do they have all like? Oh my
which
god.
I assume is going to be sniping, but I actually haven't seen it attack yet. It's been kind of farming on its own, but that would be hilarious if it was Razor Leaf? That's not right. That's not right.
I won't even be able to focus on my own character having to look at this the entire time.
Wrong in my head.
Honestly.
Well, I guess we'll wait and see. But wait, we have a knock coming in first as Qatar's going to rush at them. Instantly gets taken
looks like Gen 5 is back.
With those shields, though, is just tanking so much damage. Using that compute and
they get also Reggie Lecky in. Oh, wow. Okay.
Reggie Lecky walks on through. Tier 2 has been obliterated.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, that's so different from last game. I mean, this is a lot of relatively early aggression. Triple K.
What just happened?
For Metagross this time, Megu is going to be
Gen 5's not out yet.
Potentially stacked for their teammates.
These are big signs of life.
Holding it or not. But yeah, it is Spirit Shackle. It's not going to be Razor Leaf. As fun as that would have been kind of a throw. Let's be 100% honest. But still, like I said, there's a lot of great Trick Hoopa targets on the side of Gen 5. Really early rotation. Well, not super early, but pretty clean early rotation from Grim Reapers down to this Registeel.
But they don't can just run them over Zacian.
Come down. They do use the Unite for the Hoopa. Everybody's coming in with
we will see, I guess.
Buff already taken from the side of Grim Reapers. They are going to try to fight over this, which is surprising.
HP.
After you just lost the buff, it doesn't seem like they're going to get too much mileage.
We just run away here.
They are going to back up. Yeah, everybody return back to
and
base.
shiny spray, honestly, it should be allowed in tournaments. But like, obviously it will be.
Yeah, Gen 5 already used so many resources there, so it's just a matter of gathering up all these wild Pokemon.
Yes, Metagross is massive now.
Unite moves on hand, but it's 199
he
to
is
122. When we're looking at the levels, it's pretty much on parity. We have 2 level 11s on the side of Grim Reapers, but one thing that is sticking out like a sore thumb is this Metagross. It is soon to hit that level 13 mark, and that is going to be one tanky boy to take down.
Yes, it's going to be very, very difficult, especially too. You don't really have like exactly that much damage on the side of Grim Reapers. It's not like it's a low damage team by any means, but it's no team that can just burn down something that's tanky. It's kind of in that middle ground, and you can see it right there. We're actually seeing Metagross just walk away slightly. They managed to get the KO on Zacian, but Lunder will go down now in return. This goal zone most likely
disaster for Gen 5 again.
Too much great of a defense. Using the knock is going to be able to at least
blocking the knock.
But unfortunately they can't.
Who's Klaus ulting? Or was he on top?
Oh my goodness! Body blocked. If anybody's there, you need a teammate to body block. And unfortunately, the Cramorant was just a little bit out in the open.
I feel like this is just a replay of those Unite tutorials where you just see Cramorant getting bullied over and over again
the
with all of the different moves. But yeah, that final arrow to finish off the bird. But I mean, still 199 to 122, quite a close match. Gen 5 have decided to rotate down
no chance.
But they've already lost their Leafeon.
Oh my god!
Oh, but that's going to be a really nice set of picks. Okay, now we're starting to see the Decidueye, Utah really popping off. They were able to, I mean, they really made me my words. I was like, yeah, probably we're going to see that tier 1 goal zone go down up top in the northwest, but completely defended it.
Decidueye does so much damage with Active Bracer, really.
Tier 1 goal zone once they went down south, and now this lead
level 14
really starting to build a 163-point lead for the side of Gen 5. Trying to tie things up here. Again, this is a Worlds qualifying game, so they need to win 2 straight for it to happen. No attempt for a steal. Gen 5 will be taking that final Regirock buff before the final stretch.
Yeah, 20 seconds left to go, get these buffs underhand. But the thing is, we can see both of them haven't actually taken that positioning in that Ray pit just yet. But as we go into our wide view here, we do have that Trick Phantom Force taken that Metagross.
Well, I mean, Grim Reapers not still too bad. They have 14 Darkrai, 13 Zacian.
And I like this. You can see.
But the Decidueye damage should be pretty insane right now.
That's actually being shut down completely.
He's topping against Darkrai.
And they're going to be fighting in the middle, so it's going to be kind of a 40-40.
Kremish is dead. Kremish is useless.
That's going to be able to pull everybody else in. We are going to see
Oh my god, they are so wiped.
really low. Oh my god, team from Grim Reapers, they just melted. Actually, completely went down. Full team wipe. I didn't realize they were going down that fast. This Gen 5 clearing this one out.
But actually, get a third game.
Rayquaza for
Great.
them, and certainly they'll be running away with this.
Sure, I guess just down put you down defender Pokemon, I guess.
So
Maybe it works.
When did the backline?
What do we have here now? We have ooh, a Raichu. Which way to go? Umbreon, Zaora, and Gyarados against Zacian, Blissey, Decidueye, Metagross, and Leafeon. Again, no tank. Just vibes now. No more tanks for Gen 5.
Going with experience.
Yeah, experience Decidueye. No, I mean they have to. What else?
Doing it with their world's qualification.
Who else are they gonna put it on? Metagross?
Game 3, Grim Reapers versus Gen 5.
Right, like, I mean, which other Pokemon?
Qualifying right now.
Could you imagine
Zacian? Like,
I'm qualified for Worlds using an experience shared Decidueye, but yeah, we do see that huge map there, Snow going
and he flies away.
That blue buff first on up. Looks
Flipping
like
his little wings.
Or
the early game.
Down into that bottom path just to keep this
Eject button first. Let's see what bit 60 is gonna play.
Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, I thought it would be a cool storyline to qualify with Cramorant, but
let's see,
maybe Cramorant a little bit less viable than XP shared Decidueye. We'll see. And again, the big story here is going to be how quickly are we going to see this Gyarados.
Gyarados had OCs worse in this region.
Well we can see
I mean,
down from the side of Gen 5.
Obviously.
So far, it's looking pretty slow.
Imagine it wouldn't be the case.
Other two games have been. So no big KOs. We haven't even seen that much scoring, but there's actually an opportunity to score here potentially from that magic.
Zaro's dead?
To invade being shut
Before
down.
Spawn?
3 members of Gen 5.
Yeah, this is actually huge for Gen 5 because now they're able to go pivot.
He was trying to go for red buff, right? I guess.
Going helps Zero out, hoping to get them to evolve, especially going into a Gossifleur and a Magic Cup. Well, they can't really do much on their own, but we do have Klaus
is
back
dead.
up into the mix. They are going to quickly Volt Switch out, not being able to pick up any KOs.
Yeah, Megu barely getting out of there, but nice little bit of experience, I think, for all of Gen 5, really.
Let's stop
They're
power, okay.
be feeling pretty good about that. We already got their first level 6, and they stopped the invader
I think people,
earlier,
like,
so
I think these tournaments player really underestimate Electro Ball.
For the moment, it's very low. Just
I'll be very honest. But I guess they need more damage. That's fine. This game, at least he has defense. His Eldegoss Umbreon next to him. So I think it's okay. I hope he goes Thunderbolt at least though, but yeah. I think they're underestimating Electro Ball.
Exactly what just happened right now. Again, 8-minute mark.
Yeah.
Especially against these squishier teams as well.
Evolve, it ends up evolving.
But they have no sustained damage if he doesn't go for this, right? So
to the side of
it's
Gen
fine.
5. One thing I noticed though, they still have
it's fine.
a Rowlet on that map. It hasn't yet.
It's still Rowlet, yet has XP share.
Stage.
That's weird. Clearly, they just haven't found one thing they hit. They're kind of gatekeeping. Again, as we say it, it happens. But still sitting down there at level 5, which is the same level as.
We don't walk up in bushes. People are so stuck on having to stack Electro Ball in bushes. You don't have to do the thing a bit.
You're ruining my
It's just a thing you can do, but you can just throw Electro Balls at enemies and do a lot of damage.
We're just not used to it. It's okay. But we do.
It does a lot of damage from very far away. It's very safe too.
Klaus isn't going to really do a lot
the late game team fights, you have to walk through them. You can just put them in 3 locations at Ray and they just have to walk through them. It's very annoying.
This is actually really
You don't have to stack them in bushes at all.
No Unite moves on hand, but wait, Leafeon gets a Unite move at level 8.
That's just like a thing you can do.
The days of all of the early Unites, because we just saw.
I can guarantee you that people would still face check into it anyways as well.
Far gone, but still, it's going to be very important right here. Registeel going to be challenged. We're not going to have a fully evolved Decidueye.
Also going in for the Registeel, and they don't get it. Goes over to Decidueye.
Okay, immediately it evolved under the pip, and it got.
Did he get it without Spirit Check?
Oh my god! What is going on with this game for me? It was like literally hiding below the pip in the right side as it evolved. Anyway, I'm not going to talk anymore. So
looks like Grim Reaper's honeymoon has maybe fallen off now.
The curse of the experience shared Decidueye. It's just thrown our brains way off here. Otherwise, we do have Galaxy charging.
You got with Leafage, yeah.
Hoping to dive onto
I was about to say, didn't get it as Decidueye, right?
On them, getting caught out in this
the Spirit Checker close.
Chipped away to a quarter HP, and that means they're going to have to back on up and give a lot of space for Gen 5 to try and secure
and
the Reggie, unless they can
too
get
late.
a steal,
Possession gets
no. It ends up being Megu. Megu has secured so many objectives these past couple of
It's nice, he doesn't have to farm, he can just throw Spirit Checkers, and that's his life. Sounds nice.
When we see a lot less of the true secure Pokemon. I mean, even still, it does so well, and especially in those Ray fights where you're going to be hitting a bunch of people as well. Oh, just going in.
Metagross' Unite moving on bot lane, can we see it? Can we see bot lane? Bot lane is fighting, bot lane is fighting, bot lane, bot lane, bot lane.
Got to try and maximize that
he's dead.
cap potential. And what perfect way. But, I mean, we're almost at that halfway mark. I was about to say it's 0
Yo,
to
bot action.
113. Once again, the curse is coming on through. But does look like Grim Reapers have managed to get in 19 points down in that bottom half.
The evolution underneath, that may have been the ultimate, like, caster curse.
Blocking the second camera? Yeah, but I can't go anywhere.
Somebody to clip that for me. But right now, again, every team just kind of backing up, playing slow. We're at the 5-minute mark, relatively low points. Well, overall, I would say, you know,
like the best spot to be in.
Unfortunately for them, they just haven't been able to find all that much.
Block Gen 5's name? No.
6Es we get a chance to watch on this Alolan.
I can block like Edegos's level.
Really
I can do that. But it looks just so unsatisfying then too.
It hasn't had a huge impact. Still stuck here at level 9. So we're going to see its damage be a little bit low to a lot of these level 11s.
Well, it does have level 9,
Block
which means it has its Unite
No, but people want to know what's banned, maybe.
Have a Regirock spawning in that bottom path. Qatar is looking to try and get an isolation or just zone him out as Lunda is looking for a prime target.
Going deep.
Klaus ends up getting chipped away, and there goes the knock-knock.
Oh, the knock-knock's doing
but this assistance is huge against him, I think.
Like
yep, it got it.
Of course, it was Blissey getting the secure on that Regirock, but I mean, the knock-knock on the rock.
That was a crazy Bliss Unite.
Just so much extra damage, so many people trying to body block it.
Suddenly Gen 5 is alive.
But Grim Reapers,
all they needed was not to pick a defender Pokemon.
No, they didn't end up getting the objective. I thought they ended up getting the objective. Gen 5
they looked so gone in the first game. I can't. Okay.
Tier 1 pad is actually huge. So going to
oh, sorry guys, I'm so bad at my advertisement timing. I'm sorry.
But at the moment, it's just a matter
you get one? I'm sorry.
Wild Pokemon once again before heading up to towards that Regieleki up in that top half.
And this is huge.
I'm too tired to like pay attention to it.
This is, I mean, a match to qualify for Worlds. So I was just talking about this earlier. This is the ultimate prize.
You should be sorry. I'm sorry.
Of UCS is the chance to be one of the best teams in the world and showing.
I got one.
So the fact that they were down
yeah,
a game
one is not a big deal.
And now they won. Then they won a game in return, and now they're up.
Ray is up in 130. Until then, the advertisements are gone. That's fine. Nothing else matters.
Their mental fortitude. Not to say this is over yet, but it's still very impressive to see. Klaus trying to get a little bit of damage on that Blissey. Wasn't able to get the pull back. I think that maybe an attempt there, but they're going to be doing damage down below.
Gen 5 is just wiping them now completely.
Backing up over towards this tier 2 goal zone.
Not even close anymore.
Going to do enough damage to be able to at least make Gen 5.
But like, tell me what Stored Power does in these games. Like, Stored Power can't get anything done, right? Like, aren't you better off just throwing out Electro Balls? You can't walk up, you get one shot by Leafeon, you get Spirit Check by Decidueye, you can't do anything.
They are quite far behind in points, but Utah
it's so bad.
A nuisance towards Qatar and Galaxy in this bottom half.
Just pick Electro Ball.
Ooh, yeah, this is really good as well. This Regieleki, because there's no Hoopa on the map, there's not going to be an ability to rotate super far down very quickly. So we are probably going to see Gen 5 be able to take this basement Regi pretty free. We can already see 3 members defending up top.
If the comp is bit around it, they have like Blissey, Safeguard, Helping Hand or something, sure, right?
And,
I don't know, but like,
a few members are going to be
it's so mid without it in competitive, I feel like.
But in the meantime, they've got
it's just like having a Cinder Ace there. It's like having a Cinder Ace, the same thing. It's just a bit of a bitter Cinder Ace, which is still like not playable.
2 minutes and 15 seconds left until we find out who is going to qualify for Worlds after this match. But we can see that 3 members from Gen 5, they're going to group together as Lunda.
Like basic attack Pokemon just, I mean, it's still good burst, but you have to walk up so far.
Wrong one. Towards Qatar.
Sorry, Starzerk. That was my fault, Starzerk. That was my fault.
But Qatar ends up exposing themselves there.
But just in time for Ray.
Yeah, that was an inch away. I mean,
sorry guys for the advertisements, my bad. I didn't pay attention.
Not one angle that you can hit that entire tall grass, so smart choice, just unfortunately did not get exactly. And now, again, this entire center area being held pretty aggressively by Gen 5. They've got the snipes, they've got the vision, oh my goodness. They've got the spirit shackles, which I'm going to call snipe shot a million times as well today. And the ability to see where people are hiding because of that shadow sneak is so good. It's weird. I haven't seen Sidra for so long.
Been awake for a while.
Move names, but
I've been streaming for 9.5 hours already.
And look at that. Once again, you just got
it looks very unlosable for Gen 5, unless I don't even know. I mean, they have to mess up very hard now. Grim Reapers is so underleveled. They want to start ripping Ray now.
Oh, but look at this.
I mean, it's the only chance ripping Ray, right? One rip. Oh wait, Decidueye is dead.
Which means they're stuck in place. Metagross ends up popping the Unite move. Not able to build a wall, but they're going to
she's doing.
It's 2 down on either side now.
But Megu still here.
From the Gyarados, run on top of everybody. That's going to only land on 2, but it's still 2 great targets. Utah, though, is going to be undestroyable.
Bro, it's crazy how many Alolan and Raichus we have watched in Europe today, just picking Stored Power and being absolutely useless.
Now, they're going to be down for 23 seconds when
I don't get it.
There's only going to be 20 seconds left.
I don't get why this region keeps picking Stored Power Raichu.
Or maybe they do have more damage.
I haven't seen one where it was like actually the only good one was the one that had Thunderbolt. That one looked useful.
As well of the Decidueye, and that is
I don't get it.
That is certainly going to be a win. 22 seconds left. They're almost not going to be in time.
Gen 5 qualifies for the World Championship.
But they will.
As the second, as the second qualifying team, but not seeded second.
Making it back 2 games straight for a
But Gen 5 is qualified for the World Championship.
Well,
I know there's only one spot left.
At Worlds 2025.
Only one spot left. GG's.
Round 3.